Madam, basic concept of a project.
Okay.
ତାର step ଗୁଡାକ.
How you enroll in the nursery school and what are the stages? And you have to spend 30 days. And how you spend the 30 days by three steps: phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Now today in the today class you have to learn what is the project file and how you prepare your project file. You have to prepare two copy of your project file, and your project file contains several pages. The first page of your project file contains your name, your enrollment number, and your date of submission of the project file. Then project file submitted, and the last in this page, the last you have to mention the project file submitted in partial fulfillment of the requirement for the diploma in early childhood care and education. And in the right side corner, the below, you have to mention the School of Continuing Education, Indira Gandhi National Open University. And this page is also in your modules, section 3. Whatever material you have already got in the section 3, you find this page, that is the front page or first page of the project file.
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଯୋଉ ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ସ୍କୁଲ ଅଫ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁଇଂ ଏଜୁକେସନ,
ହଁ
ସେଇଟା ନିଜ ନିଜ ସେଣ୍ଟରର ନାଁ ଲେଖା ହବ ତ?
ନାଇଁ ନାଇଁ, ଏଇଟା ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟ, ଏଇଟା ତମର ଡିପାର୍ଟମେଣ୍ଟର ନାଁ, ସ୍କୁଲ ଅଫ୍ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁ ଏଜୁକେସନ ଇନ୍ଦିରା ଗାନ୍ଧୀ ନ୍ୟାସନାଲ ଓପନ ୟୁନିଭର୍ସିଟି ଇଜ ସେମ୍ ଫର୍ ଅଲ୍ ଅଫ୍ ୟୁ.
ଆଜ୍ଞା.
The name, the field name is different, and the enrollment number is also different, and date is also different. And the fourth line, that project file submitted in parcel, it is same for all of you. And the right in the right corner, the school of continuation, this is also same for all of you. This is the page of first page of the project file. You have to prepare two project file. One project file you submit to the center, or the your regional center, and others for your reference. The other file you keep with you, and for future reference. So the next, whenever you prepare your project file, what are the sequence? What are the pages contained in a project file? First of all, the first page, then this is the second page. The second page contains table of contents. The second page contains the table of contents. In this table of content, uh, first page contains the formal page, that is name, enrollment number, and the second page contains the table of contents. The table of contents, you have three fields. The first field, date of report of activity plan, then in the middle the title, then the page number. Suppose in the observation 5 days observation schedule, suppose from day 1 you observe the activity, and you have to mention the date in the first column. Then in the title column you have to mention the report observation of the first day. Whatever you observe in your first day of observation, you have to observe 5 days in the first page. Already discussed about the first page. The first page contains 5 days, and in the during the 5 days, you have to observe your guide, how he or she interact with the children, and how he conduct or carry out teacher activity, and you support the guide. We already have discussed. So in this column, in the first column, we mention the date and the activity plan, the name of the activity plan. Then in the title you mention report of observation of the first day. All about the observation you have to mention in the title, and the title page contain in which page of your report. Your report contains a number of pages. So in which page you mention the activity plan of the first day. You have to mention page number. Suppose in day 1 I observed the activity of first day, then it contains in my page 1. So you have mentioned in page 1. Then in second day, the activity plan, I observed the session 3 of the activity plan, and it contains in the report page number 25 or 22. You have to mention that. After that, table of content, you have to join the annexure 1 and annexure 3. The annexure 1 contains the certificate of completion of project work. You have already got all the materials. So the in the annexure bunch of the your module, the annexure um, one section A contains certificate of completion of project work. This is a format and it mentioned to be certified by the guide and the principal in charge of nursery school. Then it is mentioned.
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଏଇଟା କଣ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଏଇଟା ଯୋଉ ଆନେକ୍ସର 1 ଆଉ
uh,
3 ଏଇଥିରେ ଜଏଣ୍ଟ ହବ ନା ଲାଷ୍ଟକୁ?
Table of contents ପରେ annexure 1 join ହବ, then annexure 3. Annexure 3 ଟା ତମ ମାନଙ୍କର ହଉଛି evaluation sheet. Annexure 1 ଟା certificate of your guide or principal of the nursery school. Annexure 3 ଟା ହଉଛି evaluation sheet for use by the guide and the principal of the nursery school. ତେଣୁ annexure 3 ତାପରେ join ହବ. ପ୍ରଥମେ front page, then table of contents, then annexure 1, then annexure 3. Any doubt?
नो
ଠିକ
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ।
ଅଛି?
ହୁଁ ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ପେଜ ନମ୍ବର ଯୋଉ
ହଁ।
ପଡୁଛି ସେଥିରେ ଆନେକ୍ସର 1 3 ଟାର ବି ପଡିବ ତ ପେଜ?
ନାଇଁ। पेज नंबर केवल तुम एक्टिविटी जो ऑब्जर्व तुम करूच डे 1 रे किसी एक्टिविटी ऑब्जर्व कल सेशन गुड़ाक से ऑर्गेनाइज करेंगे से टीचर प्री स्कूल रा टीचर सेशन 1 एक्टिविटी सेशन 2 एक्टिविटी तो फर्स्ट डे रे तुम जो एक्टिविटी देखिल ताको ऑब्जर्व कर डिटेल्स डिस्क्राइब करिवो आ से जो डिस्क्रिप्शन रो पेज नंबर टा लिखिवो तो
ଆଜ୍ଞା
प्रथम
ନାଇଁ
प्रथम
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଆଗେ ଟେବୁଲ ଅଫ
प्र-
କଣ୍ଟାକ୍ଟ ଟା ରହିଗଲା ତ ମୁଁ
हाँ
କହିଲି ବୋଧେ ଆନେକ୍ସର 1 3 ର ପେଜ ନମ୍ବର ଟା ପଡିବ।
ନା annexure 1 पेज नंबर ता पछको जोड़ी हेबो जेतु सर्टिफिकेशन रहिची प्रिंसिपलଙ୍କର सिग्नेचर थिबो बा गाइडଙ୍କର सिग्नेचर थिबो तापर इवैल्यूएशन जे करिवे तमरो से पेज रे करिवे तेनु सेटा ता परको जोड़ा हेबो ठीक अछि एनी डाउट
नो मैडम।
the project file contains how many pages and what are the pages the project file contains first report of 5 days of your observation day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. The 5 days observation report. Then your project file contains all activity plan and report of activity session conducted during the second phase. The second phase contains 20 days. In first 10 days you have to conduct one session activity and the second part 10 days you conduct two activities per day. So all activities are clearly described in the project file. The sequence is first 5 days observation, then all activity plan and report of activity session conducted during the second phase, then curriculum planned for the third phase, then all activity planned and report of activity session conducted during the third phase. प्रथमे 5 days ର observation report ରହିବ then second phase ର all activity ର plan and report then curriculum plan for third phase then activity plan and report for third phase तापरे जो कहथिले annexure 1 ର section A B annexure 3 ର section A B duly completed was signed by your concerned guide and principal that is annexure 1 and annexure 3 also uh, attached to the project file then annexure 6 it already you have got already this format and you prepared this format in word file and in a word format and then attached to your project file lastly you have to join annexure 6 if the preschool was identified by you this is annexure 6 is a format whenever you choose or you select the nursery school for your observation or conducting your session or carry out your activity, you must have joined that format in your project file, and that is mentioned in your module to be certified by the regional director or assistant regional director, coordinator, or any other person authorized by the regional director. This is to certify that nursery school or preschool. Though you choose the nursery school yourself, so it is the certification by the regional director, and it must be attached in the last page of your project file. Name and address of the nursery school has been visited by the regional director. Already the format is mentioned here annexure, and you simply join the annexure in your project file. Then you completed the section 3 of how to prepare your project file and the sequence participants of your project file. Then we have to discuss your section 4, that is role of the guide and the counselor. What is the role of your guide and the counselor? The first is the guide is the person who will help you to translate your theory into practice. Into practice, the principle and knowledge that you would have acquired through the first three courses of this diploma. The guide is the we also said that the guide is your facilitator, your counselor, and the guide help you to prepare your project report and to carry out your activity and take complete charge in the nursery school. So, whatever you learned, whatever theory you have learned, that make to practice. The guide help you to make it into practice. So, your guide is the facilitator for you. Then help you to develop the understanding, attitude, and skill that are necessary for working with your children. What are the necessity or what are the necessary characteristics of a preschool educator? The guide must train you, the guide must guide you. What are the skill and competency you have to learn to be a preschool educator? The guide, he or she will help you in this regard. Then help you plan and conduct the activity sessions that are part of your project work. All the activity sessions you are conducted, all the 30 activity sessions you are conducted in the preschool, that must be planned by you and approved by your guide. So your guide must help or always help you to conduct or plan your activity and carry out your session in the preschool. So it is a integrated part of your course. So you have to complete the project work. Without the completion of your project work, you must not complete your program. So the guide is the important part of your completion of your project work, and we have to always consult your guide for planning and carry out your activity and get feedback from him. So guide always give you feedback. It is better. You have to modify it. You have to rectify it. Always, time by time, the guide give you feedback, and according to the feedback, you have to change your plan, and you have to carry out your activity inside the class and outside the class and interact with the children. Then the guide evaluate your work and give mark. The guide also evaluate your work day to day and give you the mark by your evaluation sheet. And the guide, by some guidelines are given in your module, and the guide follow these guidelines and evaluate your project work. And also the guide evaluate your report, whatever report you have prepared, the guide also evaluate your report. Then we completed the section 4 and go for your section 5, that is evaluation part. The evaluation is detailed mentioned in your section 5, how you why the guide or principal evaluated work and the regional director evaluated work, project work. In the section 5, the detailed description is present here. Uh, Three levels of evaluation of your project work: by your guide and by principal, then your regional center. So first of all, we will discuss about how the guide evaluated project work. So first, assessment of your activity plan and the aids play material you made obtained. The guide is always with you in the 30 days, and always keep his or her eye upon you, and how you interact, how you plan, how you behave with the child. So all the time the guide observes you. During this observation, he assesses you and assess all your activity and assess all your plan and assess all your activity sessions and the aids and TLM. What in during the activity, whatever the teaching learning material you are used, and the teaching, how the teaching learning material are effective for the child, how the child interact with you, and how the child are use the TLM or teaching learning materials. So everything is assessed by your guide. And play materials you made, sometimes you made by yourself for the low cost and material for the children, and sometimes you buy the material, teaching learning material for the children from the market. So how you organize your teaching learning material in the classroom, and how effectively you use your teaching learning material for the development of the child. So every time the your guide assess all your activity, all your plans, all your behavior. Every time he assesses you, and then assessment of way you carried out the activities and organize the system. Already told you. Now in the second phase, you have to plan activity and conduct activity, but in the third phase you all you take charge of the classroom, and whole day you plan your curriculum, and according to your curriculum you transact your activity, and students interact with you. That time your guide assess that how flexible you are, and how affectionate you are towards the kids or children, and how the children interact with you. This time the activity, and how you organize your activity and carried out the activity, and how you organized your session plan, all those activity are assessed by your guide. Then assessment of your report of the activity session. Every during the first phase, first 5 days, you after the observation you write a report, and in the second phase also after conducting your activity session you write a report. After the third phase also you write report. Every time you write your report in detail. So how you write your report and present in the report in the project file, that is also assessed by your guide. How pinpointed you are, or details observation doing by you, whenever a children interacted by play with their teaching learning material, and how they eat their tiffin, and how they hand wash, and all time how the time managed by you. All these activities done in throughout the day, assessed by your guide. Then write comment in your report regarding how interesting and the extent to which you are able to involve all the children in the activity. In the nursery, ideal nursery class, there may be 15 to 20 kids or 15 to 20 child, and sometimes it vary up to 35, maximum 35. So to organize activity of the 35 children is very sometimes difficult. So sometimes you have to group them, and sometimes by grouping them, if you send a group into the play activity, and conduct some numeracy activity inside the classroom. So how you manage the session, how you manage the group, and how you create group and organize your group into successful conduction of activity. So, whenever you write your report, you mention the details of about it. That time, the every time by whenever you write every report, after every report, you consult your guide, and take feedback from him or her. So at that time, he writes some comments in your report. This is a very good activity, and your observation in this session is very nice, and you elaborately very detailed description you have made. And this is these children is very friendly with you, and these that you focus on the these five childrens who are who need your special care or affection. All these things he mentioned detail, and whatever is good, the guide mentioned the good remark. And whenever you need some rectification or correction or some guidance from your guide, that time also your guide mentioned some suggestions for you. So you have to go according your guide, and day by day you rectify your activity plan, and carry out your activity session.
मैम
Then
मैम
हाँ हाँ
मैम मुझे पूछना था ना, ये एक्टिविटी कराते समय बच्चों का क्या वीडियो भी बनाना है?
हाँ, जो समटाइम्स क्या होता है ना, जो हमको अच्छा लगता है, जो एक्टिविटी में बच्चे लोग ज़्यादा इन्वॉल्व हो जाते हैं, और
हुँ।
कुछ इनोवेशन आता है, उस टाइम हम रिकॉर्ड कर सकते हैं हमारा एक्टिविटी को।
तो मैम ये नेसेसरी है?
अ,
मतलब वीडियो बनाना, क्योंकि मेरा तो भी कुछ मतलब कुछ किए हैं, कुछ नहीं किए, तो ये क्या नेसेसरी है मतलब सबमिट करते समय प्रोजेक्ट में?
it is better, or it is a good step whenever you after you present your project file, if you attached a cd or some video of your class,
हुँ।
it will be better. It is not mandatory for all of you. It will be better.
ओके मैम, ओके, ओके। आई गॉट मैम।
Then the norm which the guide will follow while evaluating your work are specified at section A and annexure 2. But whenever the guide evaluating your project file or project report or daily report, there are some norms, and the guides should follow that norms, and these norms are mentioned in section A annexure 2. These are also in your annexure module. The criteria or evaluation total mark for your first page is 50, and the criteria for evaluation is I read out some points that uh, refer to subsection 3.3, the degree of detail in the report, the analysis and conclusion. Whenever I show you a report format, you will be better understood. So the norm must be followed by the guide whenever he or she evaluating your work or your activity or your report. Then the guide will consolidate her mark on the sheet at section A annexure. I already mentioned that in annexure 3, the table format is there, and the guide also consolidate his or her mark in that sheet. First of all, now we have already discussed the evaluation part of the guide, and now we go for the evaluation of principal and panel expert. The principal or in charge will evaluate three activity of your session, which will not be evaluated by your guide. All the 30 activity sessions are evaluated by your guide. If the in charge or principal evaluate your three activity sessions, the principal must evaluate your three activity sessions, and that may not be evaluated by your guide. It is mandatory for principal to evaluate your three activity sessions, and that may not be evaluated by your guide. Then the principal too will indicate her or his assessment of three sessions on the sheet at section A and section B. There is a sheet for evaluation sheet for guide, and also evaluation sheet for principal in annexure 3, and here she will evaluate and give his mark at that sheet. Then evaluation by a panel of experts identified the faculty at IGNO. The expert panel are already identified by IGNO, and they are evaluating your project file. Then the norm for evaluation which the panel of experts will use to evaluate your project file are specified at section B and annexure 3. How whenever you go for annexure at next classes, details I display in your screen the details how the what are the rules and norms for evaluating your project work, and what is the norms for panel expert evaluating your project file. You can also refer your module and read out that what are the norms and rules for your evaluating your project work by principal, guide, or panel expert. It is already mentioned in section B and annexure 3. Then distribution of mark for project work. On the spot assessment by your guide and the principal of the nursery school will together carry 70% mark of the total mark assigned for project work. We have already in the next class we discuss the detail in what mark will be allotted for one activity, and in page 1 what is the mark total mark, and all total mark of 70% of mark from the total mark assigned to your project work is assessed by your guide or principal. If the total mark is 100%, 70% assessment by your guide and principal, and the evaluation of the project file by a designated panel board, that is 30%. Your 30% mark is allotted by your panel board, and 70% mark is allotted by your guide and principal. And the minimum qualifying mark or grade for your project work, that is 35 to 44%. It is essential for you to get at least D grade to complete the program code or your program, that is diploma in early childhood care education. You must have acquired or must have secured 35 to 44% mark or D grade in your project work. These mark in each of these two component of evaluation of your project. Individually, 70% assessment by your guide and principal. In that case, from 70%, you secure 35 to 40%, and whenever the panel expert assessed your 30% mark, that is also secure your 35 to 40%, 44% mark. So in these two component you have to secure D grade. Otherwise you you will not complete your course, that is early childhood care education. Now we complete the our section 5, then we go for our section 6. Details of objects. The section 6 contains the first phase, that is observation. Am I audible to all of you?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ କିଛି
Yes,
ପଚାରିବାର
madam.
ଥିଲା।
ହଁ ପଚାର।
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆମେ ଧର ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡିରେ ସବୁ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିସ୍ କରେଇବୁ, ସେ ତ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ କେହି ନାହାନ୍ତି, ସେ ତ ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ଟିଚର ଖାଲି ଅଛନ୍ତି।
ନାଇଁ, ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡିରେ କେତେଟା ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ସେଣ୍ଟରକୁ ନେଇକି ଜଣେ ସୁପରଭାଇଜର ଅଛନ୍ତି ହେଲା।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ତ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ତମେ ତାଙ୍କର କନସଲଟେସନ ନବ, ତାଙ୍କର କନସର୍ନ ଲେଟର ନବ, ତାଙ୍କର ସିଗ୍ନେଚର ନବ।
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ହଁ
ଥ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୟୁ।
ଠିକ ଅଛି।
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ କଣ ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ମାନେ ସିଗ୍ନେଚର ଦେଲେ ଚଳିବନି?
ନାଇଁ,
ସୁପରଭାଇଜର?
ୱାର୍କର ମାନେ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ତମର ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଏଜୁକେଟର, ପ୍ରି ସ୍କୁଲ ଏଜୁକେଟର। ସେମାନେ ରିଏଲି ସେମାନେ ତମର ଗାଇଡ। ସେମାନେ ତମକୁ ଗାଇଡ କରିବେ, ତାଙ୍କ କ୍ଲାସକୁ ତମେ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରିବ, ଆଉ ସେମାନେ ତମର ଗାଇଡ ହେବେ। ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ତମେ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ଦେଖେଇବ, ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କଣ୍ଡକ୍ଟ କଲାବେଳେ ସେମାନେ ତମକୁ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରିବେ। କିନ୍ତୁ ତାଙ୍କର ଉପରେ ଯୋଉ ଅଫିସର ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଆମେ ଯେମିତି କହୁଛେ ଟିଚର୍ସ ମାନଙ୍କର ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ, ସେମିତି ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ଇଜ ୟୋର ଗାଇଡ ଆଣ୍ଡ ହି ଅର୍ ସି ଇଜ ଏ preschool educator. You can say preschool educator, and the supervisor is the authority or a principal of your project. If you
ସବୁ
conduct
ଆନେସ୍ୱରରେ
if
ତାଙ୍କର
you conduct your activity in Anganwadi, if you conduct your activity in nursery school, there must be a principal and educator.
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ସବୁ ଆନେକ୍ସରରେ ସୁପରଭାଇଜର ସାଇନ୍ କରିବେ?
ନାଇଁ, କିଛି ତମର ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ ଇଭାଲୁଏସନ ସିଟ୍, that is signed by supervisor. Principal equivalent to supervisor. Your Anganwadi worker is your educator or your guide. ବୁଝିହେଲା? ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କରଙ୍କର କାମ କଣ ମତେ କୁହ? ଯୋଉ ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ କାମ କଣ?
ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଗାଇଡ କରିବା।
କରିବେ।
ନାଇଁ, ଆକ୍ଚୁଆଲି ସେମାନେ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି? ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ କଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି?
ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଟିଚିଂ ଦଉଛନ୍ତି।
ପିଲାମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ଯିବା ଠାରୁ ଆସିବା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେମାନେ ଫୁଲ ତାଙ୍କର କେୟାର ନେଉଛନ୍ତି। ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରାଉଛନ୍ତି, ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ ନେଉଛନ୍ତି, ଖେଳଉଛନ୍ତି, ସବୁ ସବୁ ସେମାନେ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଆଉ ଜଣେ ହେଲ୍ପର ଅଛନ୍ତି। ହୁଁ,
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ହଁ, ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲା ସଂଖ୍ୟା ବଢି ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦିଟା ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଜଣେ ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେତେବେଳେ କିଛି ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ନେଇକି ସେମାନେ ଖେଳଉଛନ୍ତି, ଆଉ କିଛି ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ସେମାନେ ପ୍ଲେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିରେ ଶିଖଉଛନ୍ତି। ତାପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ପୁଣି ଅଲ୍ଟରନେଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ତ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ହେଲ୍ପର ଆବଶ୍ୟକତା ଅଛି। ହେଲ୍ପର ଯଦି କିଛି ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ କଣ କରୁଛି, ଖେଳଉଛି ବା କିଛି ଏନଗେଜ କରୁଛି, ସେଠି ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ବା ସିଏ ଏଜୁକେଟର, ସିଏ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ଅନ୍ୟ କିଛି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିରେ ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ତ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ଆମେ ଯାହା ବି ଡିସକସ କଲେ, ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ତାହେଲେ ଏଜୁକେଟର କିଏ ହେବେ?
ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି
ହଁ,
ୱାର୍କର।
ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ହଁ, ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ଟିଚର, ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଏଜୁକେଟର ହେଲେ। ତ ତାଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ଯିଏ ରହିଲେ, ଯିଏ ତାଙ୍କ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ଅର୍ଗାନାଇଜ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେ କିଏ ରହିଲେ? ସେ ହେଲେ ସୁପରଭାଇଜର।
ସୁପରଭାଇଜର।
ହଁ, ଜଣେ ସୁପରଭାଇଜରଙ୍କ ଅଣ୍ଡରରେ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ସେଣ୍ଟର ଥାଏ। ତ ସବୁ ସେଣ୍ଟରରେ ଜଣେ ଜଣେ ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ଥାନ୍ତି। ତାଙ୍କର ଜଣେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସୁପରଭାଇଜ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଜଣେ ଥାନ୍ତି। Same thing on a nursery school. You go to a nursery school. In that school, many educators are there, and to organize their activity and administration, a principal is there. So in this situation, the organizer is the supervisor. ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏବେ?
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଆମର
ୟେସ୍
ଯୋଉ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
ଇଭାଲୁଏଟ ଯିଏ କରିବେ, ସୁପରଭାଇଜର କରିବେ ତ?
ହୁଁ, ହଁ,
ସେ କେମିତି
ସୁପରଭାଇଜର ତମର ତିନୋଟି, ଯେମିତି ଯେମିତି ତିନିଟା ସେସନ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ କରିବେ, ସେମିତି ଏଠି ଯେହେତୁ ଇକ୍ୱାଲେଣ୍ଟ ଟୁ ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ, ୟୋର ସୁପରଭାଇଜର ଇଜ ୟୋର ପ୍ରିନ୍ସିପାଲ, ଦେନ୍ ସିଏ ତୁମର ତିନିଟା ସେସନ ମଷ୍ଟ ସୁପରଭାଇଜ କରିବେ। ତିନିଟା
ଇଭାଲୁଏଟ ସେ
ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ
କେମିତି କରିବେ? ସେମାନେ ତ ଆମର ଦେଖିପାରିବେନି। ଆମର ଯୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଗୁଡା କରିବୁ, ସେମାନେ ତ ଦେଖିପାରିବେନି। ସେ କେମିତି କଣ
ଦେଖିବେ। ଏବେ ଟିକେ
ଆମକୁ
ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ଲାଷ୍ଟ ସ୍ଲାଇଡରେ ଡିସକସ କଲେ, ଯେ ତିନୋଟି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ observed by principal or in your word supervisor. Three activity sessions. ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏବେ?
ନା
ତିନି
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ବୁଝିଲି।
ତିନିଟା ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ୍ ତମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ 30 ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ୍ କରୁଛ, 30
ୟେସ୍
ଡେଜରେ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
30 ଡେଜରେ 20 ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ୍ସ କରୁଛ।
ହୁଁ
एंड लास्ट 3 पेज रे तुम पूरा टेक चार्ज पूरा टोटाली तुम अंगनवाड़ी वर्कर जहाँ करेंगे लास्ट 5 दिन रे तुमको स्टार्टिंग रू एंडिंग सेया करने को पड़ो। किंतु मझी फेज रे जो 20 दिन रही से 20 दिन रे तुमको एक्टिविटी करने को पड़े 30 टा एक्टिविटी। से जो
ସେଟା ନିଜର। ହୁଁ
हाँ से जो 30 टा एक्टिविटी तुम करुच ईच एंड एवरी एक्टिविटी इज ऑब्जर्व्ड बाय योर अंगनवाड़ी वर्कर and from these activity 3 activity are observed by your supervisor।
ହଁ ହଁ ବୁଝିହେଲା ହଁ।
so first जो 5 दिन रहिला from first 5 days uh, that during these days you observe your guide or you observe your Anganwadi worker how they conduct activity and how they greet children, how they welcome children to the school and inside the school how they organize activity and how they take care of their nutritional need and how they take care of their health needs and how they take care of the health and hygiene procedure and how they conduct activity and involve all the child in the activity sessions. So in these situations, you have to, in the first phase, what should have done by you. ତମେ କ'ଣ କରିବ କ'ଣ କରିବା ତମକୁ ଦରକାର ତ ଫାଷ୍ଟ କ'ଣ ହାଉ ଟୁ ଟେକ୍ ନୋଟ୍ସ ପ୍ରଥମେ ସେ ଯେଉଁ ଅବଜର୍ଭ ତମେ କରିବ ଗୋଟେ ନୋଟ୍ ପ୍ୟାଡ୍ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ନେବ ସେଠି ତମେ କିଛି ନୋଟ୍ କରିବ ଯେ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଏ ଟାଇମ୍ରେ ପିଲା ଆସିଲେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ୱାର୍କର ଏମିତି ଗ୍ରିଟ୍ କଲେ ତାପରେ ସେମାନେ କ୍ଲାସରୁମ୍କୁ ଗଲେ କ୍ଲାସରୁମ୍ରେ ସେମାନେ କ'ଣ କ'ଣ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କଲେ ଆଉ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ରିଲେଟେଡ୍ ଟୁ ହ୍ୱିଚ୍ ଗୋଲ୍ and if you have any doubt about the goal and activity you must have consult your guide and a note you detail note made by you and after that you refer your note and elaborate all the activity sessions and analyze all the activity. Then first of all carry a notepad and a pen with you to take notes. The notes you take down should be brief, short. सर्ट्रे किछि किछि हिंट्स रे मु लिखिबी तापरे जतेबेले मु कंप्लीशन हेजिबो एक्टिविटी तापरे मु ताको रिपोर्ट फॉर्मेट रे जहा लिखितिबी मने पकई कि लिखिबी सो नोट डाउन द सैलिएंट पॉइंट्स एंड कमिट द रेस्ट टू मेमोरी जहा मु नोट बनेली आ बाकी जक मो मेमोरी रे रहिला एंड इलाबोरेट इट लेटर ताको मु परे कोन करूची सेही दिन ही जदि मु आजिर काम आजि करि दउची सोफार सो गुड जदि काली की रखि देली मु बहुत जिंस स्किप करि जिबी बा भूली जिबी तो नोट कला बेले मु किछि पॉइंट्स लिखिबी आ से पॉइंट को परे मु मो मेमोरी रे जहा थो मु ताको इलाबोरेट करबी रिपोर्ट आकार रे रिप्रेजेंट करबी एंड देन राइट ईच डे रिपोर्ट इन दैट वेरी डे जहा मत आज दिन ऑब्जर्वेशन रिपोर्ट मते आज ही लिखिबार अछि तो मु क्लास रे जते बेले ऑब्जर्व करछि सेठी मु किछि नोट लिखि देबी बाकी सैलिएंट पॉइंट्स लिखि कि नहीं आसीबी देन मु तापरे आसीकी बसिकी मने पकेकी डिटेल इलाबोरेटली ताको रिपोर्ट फॉर्मेट रे लिखि so during the observation you have to do like this you have to make a note and after that you consult your guide and discuss with your discuss about your doubts and then after that end of the day you write your report elaborately and whatever in your memory you elaborately write in this report every day you write your report. This is the format how you write your report and how you make your note. This is the format of writing the notes. How you write your notes and how you mention your salient features in a notepad. See, this is mentioned at time 9 a.m. This is a time 9 a.m. Is it visible to all of you?
यस
Yes,
मैडम।
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How you make the note? This is the format of a note. 9टा बेले आसिले some songs and rhymes, all participate. I skip something. First, 8:30. The Anganwadi school start at 8:30 a.m. and all the children. I have skipped from one slide, and I will read out this from your module. 8:30 a.m. The children arrive. Educator greet them and talk to them. Good morning. Very good morning. Some hug, some handshake. Already seen in the social media ଯେତେବେଳେ ପିଲା ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ପଶୁଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡ଼ି ୱାର୍କର ବାହାରେ ଠିଆ ହେଇଥିବେ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ହକ୍ କରୁଥିବେ କାହାକୁ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡସେକ୍ କରୁଥିବେ କାହାକୁ ଗୁଡ୍ ମର୍ଣ୍ଣିଂ କହୁଥିବେ ଏମିତି various way there is various way of greetings to the child. So at 8:30 a.m. children arrive one by one. They arrive and the educator or the Anganwadi worker greets them and talk to them. ଆଜି ଭଲ ଲାଗୁଛି ଆଜି ଆଜି ତ ଡ୍ରେସଟା ବଢ଼ିଆ ହେଇଛି ଏମିତି କିଛି ଭଲ କଥା କହି ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ୱେଲକମ୍ କରିବା ଯେମିତି ଦେ ଫିଲ୍ ଇଜି ଅର୍ ଦେ ଫିଲ୍ ଭେରି ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡଲି to create a friendly environment and uh, children's they must think that they are in their home, so home like feeling aniba pai the city anganwadi worker the preschool educator it's greet the children at 8:30 a.m. Then 9 a.m. Some songs and rhymes all participate. 9 a.m. रे कौन होची 8:30 ରୁ 9 a.m. रे ସମସ୍ତେ ଆସିକି ପହଞ୍ଚି ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଠି 9 a.m. ରେ କଣ ହୋଉଛି some songs and rhymes କିଛି rhymes କିଛି smart board if there is a smart board or smart TV the songs some songs are played, some songs are playing by the educator and rhymes playing by the educator and all are participated, all the kids are participating. This
ପ୍ରେୟର
is the
ଯୋଉଟା ହେଲେ ହବନି
sorry ବୁଝି ପାରିଲିନି
ପ୍ରେୟର
ହଁ ପ୍ରେୟାର କରିପାରିବେ ପ୍ରେୟାର କରିପାରିବେ just we have to acquainted them they are in the home and we to make easy to make feel them easy so ପ୍ରେୟାର ହେଇପାରିବ any type of ଗୀତ ହେଇପାରିବ ଭଜନ ହେଇପାରିବ ଯେକୌଣସି ଜିନିଷ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଗାଇକି ସେଠି କ'ଣ କରିବା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଇଜି ଫିଲ୍ କରେଇବା ତ 9 am ରେ କିଛି ଗୀତ ବାଜୁଛି କିଛି ସଙ୍ଗସ୍ ପ୍ଲେ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଏଜୁକେଟର ତମେ ଦେଖୁଛ ଯେ ସେଠି ଏଜୁକେଟର କିଛି ଗୀତ ବା ରାଇମ୍ସ ପ୍ଲେ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ସବୁ ପିଲା ସେଠି ପାର୍ଟିସିପେଟ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଦେନ୍ 9:20 ରେ କ'ଣ ହେଉଛି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ୍ ଅନ୍ ଦ ଥିମ୍ ସେଟ୍ सेट को नेकी से कौन करचंती spatial understanding ଆମେ ଯାହାକୁ କହୁଛେ different types of shape there are various types of shape rectangular shape triangular shape circular hemisphere, oval, all the students, the teacher create a activity or involve all the children in the activity that the children should identify the shape. So the activity session is about shape. The activity, then you observe that the activity is inappropriate. Children lost interest to make a note, then you elaborately then after that you elaborately or mention all the things in the report, but if this is a if it is a note so you only mention the activity is inappropriate and children lost interest. ମୁଁ ଦେଖୁଛି ଯେ ସେପ୍କୁ ଚିହ୍ନିବା ପାଇଁ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କର ସେଠି ଏଜୁକେଟର କ'ଣ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡ଼ି ୱାର୍କର କିଛି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିଛନ୍ତି ବଟ୍ ଦ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ମୋତେ ଲାଗୁଛି ଯେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିଟି ଇନ୍ଆପ୍ରୋପ୍ରିଏଟ୍ ଅଛି ଫର୍ ଦ 3 to 6 year child and the ପିଲାମାନେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ନେଉନାହାନ୍ତି. I observed that and I mention it in my note. Then 9:50 a.m. Outdoor free play. This is the time for outdoor free play. Then pilamane swings. They use swing, slide, um, uh, jungle gym, sand pit, caregiv- caregivers in background, keep an eye on all the children and attends more to new children. जो कथा हमें टिके कहले केयर गिवर कौन करछि सेतेबेले केयर गिवर रोल आसीछि केयर गिवर सेठी पिला माने जो खेलुचंती खसरुचंती तो सेठी से तांको ऑब्जर्व करछि लक्ष्य करछि एंड फील देम सेफ then 10:30 this is the time for washing पिला माने हाथ धोइया पे जाइछंती 10:40 am this is the break for eating after washing they develop a healthy habit before eating. They should have washed their hands and hand washing practicing before eating. These are healthy habits, and during this activity, we always make them healthy and practicing hand washing before eating. So it is the time for washing. Then at 10:40 is the break for eating. After washing, on 10:40, the childrens always get a break for eating. Whatever the nutrition prepared in the Anganwadi center, they provide that nutrition or they provide them the food provided by the Anganwadi center, and this is the time for eating. Then 11 a.m. After eating, they wash their hand. All the details report in mention in report, but this is a note. So you only mention time and the work done at that time. The 10 a.m. storytelling using picture book. Storytelling using picture book. The Anganwadi workers show a picture book and tell a story to the students. Interesting narration, story, plot completed, asked question. After completion of the story, he or she asks some questions. You observe that is a storytelling session, and the story is told the story is told by the educator or Anganwadi worker by showing a picture book, and the students become very enthusiastic and interested towards the story to listen the story. And then after completion of the story, the educator asks some questions to them. Then this session continue for 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. 11:30 a.m. At 11:30 a.m. indoor free play. Outdoor free play completed. Then storytelling session completed. Then indoor free play. In indoor free play, the children play with blocks, beads, jigsaw puzzle, boards, game boards. All children participated. Always we know that children like to play, and by play way method they learn. Um, and we have to provide the play activity and the play materials. Whenever you provide the play materials, the students may be very enthusiastic and feel very interested and do the activity and involve in that activity and learn from the activity. So the play activity, the indoor free play, continue for 10:30 to 12:15, and at 12:15, children left with their parents or by their school bus. So this is a note for observation day one. If you observe day one, these activities are done from 8:30 to 12:15, and you make a short note or brief note. After that, you go for your detailed report. This is the format for writing the report of the observation. You saw in this note, you mention only the time and the activity, what the activity in this session continue, and how the children behave and how the teacher behave in this activity. Just short notes. Then in this format or in this writing, you your detailed report is made by you. This is the format for writing the report of the observations, and these are two part. One part or one column. This is the observation, and what are you observed, and this is the analysis. Whatever you observed in the session, and what is the outcome, or after analyzing the observation, you have got some outcome, and in the analysis part, this is mentioned. I am reading the observation. This is the example of observation. I am reading it out that in 8:30 a.m. to 8:45 a.m., most of the children arrived between 8:30 to 8:45 in the morning. The educator who had been standing near the door, um, you have already this format or this example in your module. I just read out this. Who had been standing near the door and greeted each child warmly. Uh, the educator greet all the child with a smiling face and standing in front of the door. The educator welcome each and every child by with a big smile, and all the children also replied the same to the educator. Then children moved into the room as they become as they come, and some of them began to play with the toys. After the educator greet all the child, they feel very friendly, and they enter into the. I'm audible to all of you.
Yes, ma'am.
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍।
They moved into the room, and as usual, they come and some of them began to play with the toys. There are various toys, various materials, and they are already friendly with the materials and toys. So they enter into the classroom and play with the toys that were lying on the floor. As each child came, he or she kept the tiffin box and the water bottle at the shelves. The very interesting thing, they are very managed, they are very sincere, and very disciplined. In this situation, they come, and some of the child, they don't care about their bags, tiffin box, water bottle, and suddenly they play with the toys. But some of them, they put their water bottle in the right place, put their tiffin box in the shelf, and put their bag in the right place at the shelves designated for this. What about the shelf? Which shelf is allotted to which child? The child, some of the child put their tiffin box and put their water bottle in the proper place. Two new children had joined the preschool center. Today, you observed that two new school children had joined the preschool center. And a few days back, before a few days back, the two children joined the center. When they arrived, the educator took special care to welcome them. Some are very friendly because they came from a long day to the preschool campus, but the preschool educator is very sensitive towards the kids, which kids they come a few days back because they are not till friendly with the environment. So the educator gives the special hug, special care, special affection to that two children. When they arrived, the educator took special care to welcome them and make them feel comfortable. She took them near the toy shelves and encouraged them to play with the toys. One of the child had begun to cry as the parent was leaving. When one of the child is crying at that time because the parents leave the child, the educator at that time, suddenly the educator tried to uh, tried to hug her and kissed her, and uh, distract her attention. The educators saw that kid is crying, and how the educator take care of her. The educator hugged her and kissed her. ଆମେ କହୁଛେ କିଛି ହେଇନି, କିଛି ନାହିଁ, ବାବା ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି ଆସିବେ, ଆମେ ଏମିତି ଯୋଉ ପିଲାକୁ କ'ଣ କରୁଛେ ଆଶ୍ୱାସନା ଦଉଛେ ଆଉ ତାର ଆଟେନସନକୁ ଡାଇଭର୍ଟ କରୁଛେ by giving some toys and interact with other child. ସେ କେମିତି ଖେଳୁଛି ଦେଖୁଛି, ତା ସହିତ ଖେଳିବା, ଏମିତି ଏଇ ସବୁ କଥା କହିକି ସେଠି ଟିଚର କ'ଣ କରୁଛି, ତା ଆଟେନସନକୁ ଡାଇଭର୍ଟ କରୁଛି. You observe that the teacher is very flexible with the newcomer or the new child, and give a special affection to the child. So this is your observation. This is your observation, and what is the analysis about your observation? Your analysis is welcoming each child in the morning as the educator did. Make the child feel comfortable in the preschool. ଏତେ ଯୋଉ କାମ କରୁଛି ପ୍ରି ଏଜୁକେଟର, ଏତେ ଯୋଉ କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କାଇଁ, why is he or he doing these things towards the children? Because of to make comfortable and easy space, or create a friendly space, friendly environment for the child inside the school. The child always think that the family is only the caregiver, or the family members are very close to the child. Whenever he come to a new place, he astonished, he sometimes feel do not feel free to talk to the educator. So in this way the educator make the child comfortable. This is the analysis. ବୁଝିହଉଛି?
Yes, madam.
ଏଇ ଟାଇପ୍ର ଅବଜରଭେସନଟେ ମୁଁ କଲି, ତ ଏଇ ଅବଜରଭେସନରେ ମୋର ଆନାଲିସିସ୍ ହେଲା ଏଇସବୁ ଯେଉଁ କାର୍ଯ୍ୟ କରାଯାଉଛି ବା ପ୍ରିଜ୍ ଏଜୁକେଟର ବା ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡ଼ି ୱାର୍କର କାହିଁକି କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଟୁ ମେକ୍ ଦ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ କମ୍ଫର୍ଟେବୁଲ୍. କେବଳ ପିଲାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ସେ ଭାବୁ ଯେ ସେ ତା ଘରେ ଅଛି, ବା ସେ ଗୋଟେ ନୋନ୍ ପ୍ଲେସ୍ରେ ଅଛି ଯେଉଁଠିକି ସେ ସେଫ୍ରେ ଅଛି, ତାହେଲେ ଯାଇକି ସେ କ'ଣ କରିବ, ସେ ହ୍ୟାପି ଫିଲ୍ କରିବ ଆଉ ଇଣ୍ଟରେଷ୍ଟ ଫିଲ୍ କରିବ. ତ ଏଇଠି ଗୋଟେ କମ୍ଫର୍ଟେବୁଲ୍ ଏନଭାୟରନମେଣ୍ଟ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁକା ପ୍ରି ସ୍କୁଲ ଏଜୁକେଟର ଏତିକି କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି. ତ ଦେନ୍ ଦ ରେଷ୍ଟ ପାର୍ଟ ଅଫ୍ ଦ ଅବଜରଭେସନ୍, 9 to 9:20 ସେଠି କ'ଣ କରୁଥିଲା, ଯାହା ମୁଁ ନୋଟ୍ସ ବନେଇଥିଲି ତାକୁ ଫୁଲି ଡେସ୍କ୍ରାଇବ୍ କରୁଛି ଏଠି. By about 9 a.m., almost all children had arrived. The educator brought them together in the open space. 9 a.m. ସୁଦ୍ଧା ସବୁ ପଳେଇ ଆସିଲେ ସବୁ ପିଲା. Almost all children had arrived. The educator brought them together in the open space. Open area, ସେ ମଝିରେ ରୁମ୍ର ହଲ୍ର ମଝିକୁ ନେଇ ଆସିଛନ୍ତି. ମୁଁ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁଛି ବା ତୁମେ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁଛ. But brought them together in the open space in the center of the room. The children gathered to form a semicircle. U. Always you organize, or you a U set. That's why the children clearly see your face, and you also see all the children's face. In a semicircle with the educator in the middle facing the children, she began singing. You already make your note that a song or a rhyme was played, and this is the description that the student form a semicircle, and the center, in the center the educator is standing and facing the children. She began singing. ସେ ଗୀତ ଗାଇବା ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲେ. She began singing, and children sings and rhymes, and the children joined in enthusiastically. ये जो अंगनवाड़ी सेंटर रे जो अंगनवाड़ी वर्कर गीत गाउछंती, बहुत गीत गाती चल हाथ टेकिबा आकाशକୁ ଚାହିଁବା ଆକାଶକୁ ଚାହିଁ ଆମେ जो गीत गुड़ाक ସେଇଟା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗାଉଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଆକ୍ସନ କରିକି ତାହେଲେ ପିଲାମାନେ ଏନ୍ଥୁସିଆଟିକ୍ उत्साह निज भितर उत्साह ଫିଲ୍ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ସେଟାକୁ ସେମାନେ ରିପିଟେଡଲି ଗାଉଛନ୍ତି तो you have observed that whenever the educator began singing a rhyme all the children are very enthusiastically repeat the song with the educator song along with equal not visual rightly using actions extensively at the appropriate places. The atmosphere becomes uh, so friendly that you write in your word that this is a format or this is an example. Even the new children, oh, the new children also began to sing with the educator. You observed that the activity session was very interesting and it continue for some times and the after the song complete they tried to uh, join each other hands and could try to imitate all the actions of the educator. After the educator began to sing the song or rhyme, all the children joined their hands and repeat the action of the educator. And the educator made special effort to involve the new ones. The new ones are not feel comfortable with the environment, so the educator come to them and hold their hands and repeatedly repeat the actions, and the new ones become comfortable. So this is the observation of your day one from 9 a.m. to 9:20 a.m. The activity session. The activity session is the rhyme or song, and that analysis is this observation. From this observation, you analyze that this activity session was very successful, and the involvement of the educator greatly influenced the participation of the children. Here, you derive that this activity session is very interesting and very enthusiastic and very successful also. All the children involved whenever the educator sing the song with actions uh,
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ ଲେଖିଲେ ଅବଜରଭେସନ ଏଇଟା
uh,
ପୂର୍ବଟା ନୁହଁ
ଶୁଣି
ଆପଣ ଯୋଉ
ପାରିଲେନି
ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଯୋଉଟା ଦେଖେଇଲେ ଯୋଉ ଫର୍ମାଟ ଗୁଡା
ମୁଁ ତମ ଭଏସ
ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଯୋଉ ଫର୍ମାଟ ଟା ଦେଖେଇଲେ
ଟା କ୍ଲିୟର ହଉନି ଆଉ ଥରେ ଟିକେ ରିପିଟ କର
ପୂର୍ବରୁ ଯୋଉ ଫର୍ମାଟ ଗୁଡାକ
ଏଇଟା
ଦେଖେଇଲେ
ଏଇଟା ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍
ହଁ ସେଇଗୁଡାକ କଣ ଡେ 1 ଭିତରେ ଯାଉନି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି
ହଁ
ଭିତରେ
ଡେ ୱାନ୍ରେ ତମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେଠି ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର କାମ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁଛ ଇନ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଟାଇମ୍ ୟୁ ମେକ୍ ଏ ନୋଟ୍ ତମେ ତ ସେଠି ବସିକି ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଲେଖିପାରିବନି ନା ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଯଦି ଲେଖିବ ତମେ ମିସ୍ କରିଯିବ ସିଚୁଏସନ ଗୁଡାକ ସେଠି ଯଦି ସେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରୁଛେ କଣ କରୁଛେ କୋଉ ପିଲା କଣ କରୁଛି କେମିତି ରିପିଟେଡଲି ସେ ଗୀତଟା ଗାଉଛି କେମିତି ଏଜୁକେଟର ତା ପାଖକୁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି କଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଏସବୁ ଜିନିଷ ତମକୁ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ଇନ୍ ଡିଟେଲ ସୋ କଣ ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ଘଟୁଛି ବା ଏଇ ସମୟରେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ସେସନଟି ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ
ଆଇ କ୍ୟାଣ୍ଟ ହିୟର ୟୁ ପ୍ରପରଲି
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
ହଁ
ତାଙ୍କ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି
ହୁଁ
କି ଆମକୁ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟରେ ବି ଲେଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ସେ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଟାକୁ
ଫାଷ୍ଟ 5 days ଇଜ୍ ୟୋର ଅବଜରଭେସନ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ନା ପ୍ରଥମ 5 ଦିନ ଫେଜ୍ ୱାନ୍ରେ ତମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରିବ ଆଉ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଲେଖିବ
ସେଇଟା ବି ଆମ ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟରେ ମେନସନ ହବ
ସେଇଟା ଫାଷ୍ଟ ପାର୍ଟ ତମର ପ୍ରୋଜେକ୍ଟ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ତମେ ଅବଜର୍ଭ
ତାପରେ
କରୁଥିବ
ଏବେ
ସେଇ କ୍ଲାସଟିକୁ ତାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଡେରେ ତମେ ଯୋଉ 8:30ରୁ 12:15 ରହିବ ସେଠି ତମେ ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଲେଖିପାରିବନି ଯଦି ଲେଖିବ ତମେ ମିସ୍ କରିଯିବ ତାଙ୍କର ସିଚୁଏସନ ଗୁଡା ତେଣୁ ତମେ ସେଠି ହିଣ୍ଟସ ଟିକେ ଲେଖି ଲେଖିକା ଆଣିବ ଯେ 11:30ରେ ସେ ଏଇଟା କଲେ 12:30ରେ ଏଇଟା କଲେ 11:15ରେ ଏଇଟା କଲେ ଆଉ 9টাରେ ପିଲା ଏଇଟା କଲେ 10টাରେ ପିଲା ଏଇଆ କଲେ ଏଇଟା ଟିକେ ହିଣ୍ଟସ୍ ଲେଖିକି ନୋଟ୍ ବନେଇକି ଆଣିବ ତାପରେ ତାକୁ ବସିକି ପୁରା ଡିଟେଲ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଲେଖିବ ବୁଝିଲା ଏବେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମାନେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ 9ଟାରୁ 9ଟା 20 ଯୋଉ ଆପଣ ଦେଖଉଛନ୍ତି ସେଇଟା ଆମ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିରେ ଯିବ।
ନାଇଁ ସେଇଟା ତାଙ୍କର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ତମେ ଅବଜରଭେସନ ଡେ ଗୁଡାକର ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଲେଖୁଛ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଫର ଅବଜରଭେସନ ତମେ ଯାହା ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁଛ ତମର ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ଯାହା ଯାହା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତା ଉପରେ ବେଶ କରିକି ତମେ ରିପୋର୍ଟ ଲେଖୁଛ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ଫାଷ୍ଟ ଫେଜ ଅଫ
ଆଜ୍ଞା
ରିପୋର୍ଟ ରାଇଟିଂ ବୁଝିହେଲା ତ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ
ୟେସ୍ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ।
ଯାହା ସବୁ କୁହାଗଲା ସେଗୁଡାକ ତମେ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରିଛ ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ୱାର୍କର ଏଇ କାମ ସବୁ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ବା ପ୍ରି ସ୍କୁଲ ଏଜୁକେଟର ଏ ସବୁ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ତା ଦେହରୁ ତମେ କଣ ଡିରାଇଭ୍ କଲ ଏ ସବୁ ଯୋଉ କରୁଛନ୍ତି କଣ ପାଇଁ ସେ କରୁଥିଲେ ସେଠି ପିଲାମାନେ କୋଉ ଭଳିଆ ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ ଥିଲେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମୁଁ କଲି ଦ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ ୱାଜ ଭେରି ସକ୍ସେସଫୁଲ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ସେ ଯୋଉ ଗୀତ ଗାଇକି ଆକ୍ସନ କରିକି ଗୀତ ଗାଇଲେ ସେଥିରେ ସେ ଯାହା ଶିଖେଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ ସେ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସକ୍ସେସଫୁଲ ହେଲା କାହିଁକି ନା ଏଭ୍ରି ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ଇଜ ଗେଟ୍ ଇନଭଲ୍ଭ ଇନଟୁ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି and every child is participated in that activity so ସେଇଟା ସେ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ ଯୋଉ ଗ୍ରିଡ୍ କଲେ ତାପରେ ସେ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ ଫ୍ରେଣ୍ଡଲି ଏନଭାୟରନମେଣ୍ଟ କ୍ରିଏଟ୍ କରିବେ ସବୁ ପିଲା କେମିତି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟିରେ ପାର୍ଟିସିପେଟ୍ କରିବେ ତ ସେଇଠି ମୁଁ ଆନାଲାଇଜ୍ କଲି ଯେ ଯାହା ଯାହା ସେ କଲେ ତ ଦିସ୍ activities become successful why all the students are participated in that activity so this activity session am really helped to foster children's language development. I have already discussed and told that all the activity is connected some developmental goal or connected for child's development. This activity is connected to the language development of the child. ସେଠି ପିଲା କଣ କରୁଛି ଗୀତ ଗାଉଛି ରିପିଟେଡଲି ୱାର୍କର ସହିତ ଅଙ୍ଗନବାଡି ସହିତ ଗୀତ ଗାଉଛି ତା ସହିତ ଆକ୍ସନ କରୁଛି ସୋ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଇଜ କନେକ୍ଟେଡ ୱିଥ ଦ ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ଅଫ ଦ ଚାଇଲ୍ଡ ସେଠି ପିଲା ସବୁ ପିଲା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଗୀତ ଗାଇଲେ ତ ମୁଁ ଜାଣିଲି ଦ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଇଜ ସକ୍ସେସଫୁଲ ବୁଝିଲା ଏବେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ହଁ ଯାହା ତମେ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରୁଛ ତ ତାର ଆନାଲିସିସ ରେ କଣ ଲେଖା ହବ ଏଇଟା ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ଅବଜରଭେସନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ ଦ ଆନାଲିସିସ ଅବଜରଭେସନ ରେ ମୁଁ ଏଇଟା ଅବଜର୍ଭ କଲି ଦିସ୍ all the things are observed by me and I analyze that from this observation that this activity is successful because all the students are participated and this is connected to their language development every activity is connected with the developmental process and every activity is connected with the developmental goal one of the developmental goal that I have already discussed in the last class there are three developmental goal effective communicator effective whenever when the child is becoming effective communicator if the child learn the language and express his feelings through the language then after he can be a effective communicator so every activity is connected to the developmental goal and connected to the development of the child last class and the theoretical class of your DEC paper about course 1 you have already learned the child holistic development contains the physical development mental development social emotional development so all the development related to the goal so every activity should have a goal ଆମେ ଏଣୁ ତେଣୁ ସେମିତି କରିପାରିବା ନାହିଁ ଯଦି ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି କରିବା that must be related to the development of the child ଏଠି କଣ ହଉଛି ପିଲାର ଲାଙ୍ଗୁଏଜ ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହଉଛି ବୁଝିହେଲା ଏବେ
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍
next 9 and 9:20 we are covered that in 9:20 to 9:50 in this activity session you observed that the children sat in a semicircular arrangement on the mat laid out on the floor The mat is laid in the floor, and over the mat, all the children are, are sitting in a U shape or a semicircular format. After about 15 to 20 minutes of singing, the educator began with the activity sessions on set. You have already mentioned in your note the activity was said, but this is inappropriate. You mention in your note. So this is the detailed description. After that singing activity, the educator began with the activity session on set. The educator had cut out of 5 shapes, that is square, rectangle, triangle, circle and semicircle. She began by holding up each cutout and asking the children what is the shape of what. ସେଠି କ'ଣ କରିଥିଲେ ସେ ଚାରିଟା ସେପ୍ ସେ ଗୋଟେ 5ଟା ସେପ୍ ସେ ନିଜେ କାଟିଲେ ଗୋଟେ ସେପ୍ ଦେଖେଇକି ସେ ପିଲାଙ୍କୁ ପଚାରୁଛନ୍ତି ହ୍ୱାଟ୍ ୱାଜ୍ ଦ ସେପ୍. Then some children were familiar with one or two shapes and replied to her questions. After showing each shape, she would weigh its name and ask the children to repeat it. She do this way with each of the 5 cutouts. Subsequently, she put these cutouts in a box and asked each child to come up to the box one by one, pick out a shape and say its name. Most of the child could name could name most of the could name the circle with regard to other shape. Many could not give the right answer. The educator herself would name the shape and ask the children to repeat after her. During the activity, many children got active and this attention to other things in the song. मैक्सिमम पिला से चिन्ह पारुनांती आउ आंसर दे पारुनांती बाकी जो गोटे दिटा पिला आंसर देले न दे पारिले सेडा से रिपीट करिया पई से कहउछन. You thought that, you observed that it is inappropriate.
कौन क्लास सरीगला ना कौन मैडम कौन लेफ्ट हो गले
କେଜାଣି କହି ହଉନି
କେଜାଣି ନେଟୱାର୍କ ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହେଇଥିବ.
ସେ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ଟା ବୋଧେ ଅଫ୍ କରୁ କରୁ
ଆଉ
କହିଲା
କ୍ଲାସ
ସେ
କରିବାକୁ ଇଚ୍ଛା ହଉନି 7:30 ହେଲାଣି.
ସତ କଥା ଏତେ ସମୟ ପୁରା
କଟି ଟିକେ ଯା ଫୋନ
ମ୍ୟାମ ବୋଧେ ଅଛନ୍ତି.
ଏବେ ଶୁଭୁଛି
ମ୍ୟାମ ଅଛନ୍ତି କୁଆଡେ ପଳେଇଲେ।
ମାନେ କଣ କରିବା?
ଏଇ ଚାଲ ଖେଳିଆ ହେଇ ହେଇ
ଏ ଅଜୟ ସାର୍ ଅଛନ୍ତି ବୋଧେ। ଏଇ ଯୋଉ କ୍ଲାସ ରୁମ୍ 2 ଲେଖା ହେଇଛି ଯୋଉ ସେ ଅଜୟ ସାର୍ ବୋଧେ।
ସେଣ୍ଟର ବୋଧେ ସେ ତ ପ୍ରାୟ ସମୟ ସେଇଟା ରହୁଛି
ସେଟା
କ୍ଲାସ ରୁମ୍ 2 ରେ।
ସେଣ୍ଟର ହଁ।
ସେଇଟା ସବୁବେଳେ ରହୁଛି।
ସବୁଦିନ ସବୁଦିନ ରେକର୍ଡିଂ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ହିଁ ରହୁଛନ୍ତି।
ମ୍ୟାମଙ୍କର ଶୋ କରୁଛି ହେଲେ ଏବେ କଟିଗଲାଣି କଲ୍ୟାଣୀ ବୋଧେ ମ୍ୟାମ ଉଠେଇଗଲା।
ନାହାନ୍ତି ଶୋ କରୁନି।
ହଁ ନାହାନ୍ତି ନାହାନ୍ତି।
ମୁଁ ତ ଭାବୁଛି ସେଇ ବୋଧେ ସ୍କ୍ରିନ୍ ଟା ଅଫ୍ କରୁ କରୁ ବୋଧେ ଲେଫ୍ଟ ହେଇଯାଇଥିବ କି କିଛି କରିଦେଇଥିବେ।
ଯିବା। ସାଢେ 7ଟା ହେଲାଣି କିଏ ଆଉ କ୍ଲାସ କରିବାକୁ ଜମା ଇଚ୍ଛା ନାହିଁ।
ସତ କଥା।
ତମ ଭିତରୁ ହିନ୍ଦୀ କିଏ ନେଇଛ? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ।
ମୁଁ ନେଇଛି।
ମୁଁ କହିଲ ନା।
ମୁଁ ନେଇଛି।
କାଇଁ ତମକୁ କଣ ଓଡିଆ କଷ୍ଟ ଲାଗିଲା ନା କଣ ହିନ୍ଦୀ କାଇଁ ନେଲ?
ଓଡିଆ କୋଉଠି ଅଛି? ପାଇବ।
କଣ ହେଇଛି?
ଓଡିଆ କୋଉଠି ପାଇବ?
ଓଡିଆ କୋଉଠି ପାଇବ ମାନେ? ନିଜ
ଏଇ
ନିଜ
ଇଂଲିଶ ନହେଲେ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ନା।
ହିନ୍ଦୀ।
ହଁ 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 ହିନ୍ଦୀ ହଁ ଇଂଲିଶ କଣ ତମକୁ କଷ୍ଟ ଲାଗିଲା?
ହିନ୍ଦୀ କିଏ
ଇଂଲିଶ
ନେଇଛ
କଷ୍ଟ
ପୂଜା
ଲାଗିଲା
ଜାଣିନ?
ନୁହଁ। ନା ନା ମୁଁ ଭାବିଲି କି ତ କୁହନା ଏଠି କ୍ଲାସ ଫ୍ଲାସ ହବ କି ନହବ ବହି ଆସି ନଥିଲା ମୋ ପାଖକୁ। ମୁଁ
ତମର
ପୁରୁଣା
ଯୋଉ
ଗାଇଡ
ବହିଟା
କିଛି
ଆଇଛି
ପାଇଥିଲି। ନା ନା ମୁଁ କିଛି
ସିଏ କଣ
ପୁରୁଣା
ହେଇଛି?
ଗାଇଡ ପାଇଥିଲି ନା ତ ହିନ୍ଦୀର ପାଇଥିଲି। ଆଉ ମୁଁ ସେଠି ଆଉ ତାକୁ ଟ୍ରାନ୍ସଲେସନ କର ପୁଣି ଇଂଲିଶରେ ଲେଖ ଠିକ ଅଛି ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ ଲେଖିଦିଅ।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଆଜି ଥାଉ କାଲି ପଢିବେ।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମଙ୍କ ଫୋନ ନମ୍ବର ବି ନାହିଁ ଗାରି ନମ୍ବର ବି ନେଲେନି ତାଙ୍କ।
ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ମିଉଟ ମାରି ହେଇଯାଇଛି।
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ ଆସିଲେ କି?
ଶୁଣାଗଲା କି ଏବେ ମୁଁ ଯାହା ପଚାରିଲି?
କଣ
ଯଦି
ପଚାରିଲେ?
ସେ ସେପ୍ ର କନସେପ୍ଟ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କୁ ଦବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଜାଗାରେ ସେ ଚିତ୍ର ଦେଖେଇ ଦେଇ ଖାଲି ପିଲାକୁ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ପଚାରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏଇଟା କୋଉ ସେପ୍? ପିଲା ଯଦି ନ କହିପାରୁଛି ଟିଚର ସେଠି କହିକି ନା ରିପିଟ କର ଏଇ ସେପ୍ ଟାକୁ ଆଉଥରେ ରିପିଟ କର ବୋଲିକା ମୁଁ ପିଲାକୁ କହୁଛି। ତ ସେଇ ଜାଗାରେ ମୁଁ ଭାବୁଛି ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ଇନଆପ୍ରୋପ୍ରିଏଟ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି। ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଇଟା ଆପ୍ରୋପ୍ରିଏଟ ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା ମୁଁ କଣ କରିଥିଲି ଏଇଟା ଆପ୍ରୋପ୍ରିଏଟ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ହେଇଥାନ୍ତା ଆଉ ପିଲା ସେପ୍ ର କନସେପ୍ଟ ପାଇଥାନ୍ତା କଣ କରିଥିଲେ?
ତାଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖେଇଥାନ୍ତେ ସେଇଟା ସେଇ ଯୋଉଟା ପଚାରିଥିବେ ସେଇ ସେପ୍ ଆକୃତିର ଗୋଟେ କିଛି ଜିନିଷ ଦେଖେଇଥାନ୍ତେ। ନହେଲେ ଅନ୍ୟ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ଦ୍ଵାରା କୁହାଇଥାନ୍ତେ। ନହେଲେ
ହଁ କି?
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଆମ୍ବର ପିକ୍ଚର ଦେଖଉଛେ ସିଏ
ହୁଁ
ଯଦି କହି ନ ପାରୁଛି ତ
ହୁଁ
ଆମେ ଓରିଜିନାଲ ଗୋଟେ ଆମ୍ବ ଆଣି ଦେଖେଇବା ତାକୁ
ହୁଁ
ଚିହ୍ନେଇବା ଯେ
ହୁଁ
ଆମ୍ବ ତ
ହୁଁ
ତାପରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ପିକ୍ଚର ଦେଖେଇବା ସେ ଯଦି କହିପାରୁଛି ତ ଠିକ ଅଛି ନ କହି ପାରିଲେ ଆଉଥରେ ତାକୁ କହିବା।
ହୁଁ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁ ସେ ଟିଚର ଚାହୁଁଛି ତାକୁ ରେକ୍ଟାଙ୍ଗୁଲାର ସେପ୍ ଟ୍ରାଙ୍ଗୁଲାର ସେପ୍ ଏଗୁଡାକ ସବୁ ସେପ୍ ତାକୁ ଚିହ୍ନେଇବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛି ସେ ତ ଆଗରୁ ଏକ୍ସପେରିଏନ୍ସ ସେ ନେଇଛି। ଆଗରୁ ଏକ୍ସପେରିଏନ୍ସ କରିଛି ବିଭିନ୍ନ କଥା ଏକ୍ସପେରିଏନ୍ସ କରିଛି ଅଣ୍ଡା ଖାଇଛି ତ ସବୁ ବହୁତ ଗୁଡେ ସେପ୍ ସେ ଦେଖିଛି। ଚୁଡ଼ି ମା ର ଚୁଡ଼ି ଦେଖିଛି ରୁଟି ଯୋଉ ଘରେ ଖାଉଛି ତାକୁ ବି ଦେଖିଛି। ତ ରିଏଲ ଲାଇଫ ସିଚୁଏସନରେ ସେ ବହୁତ କଥା ସେପ୍ ବିଷୟରେ ଜାଣିଛି। तो आमको ताको कनेक्ट करिवारे अछि। आमे गोटे गीत राइम्स रे सुनिथिबो तो मामा की रोटी गोल गोल गोटे गीत अछि।
हाँ मैम।
बैंगल्स आर सर्कल ये सब जो आमे राइम्स छोट पिला जो गायकी शुणाउछंती से जगह से जानुची जे मार चूड़ीटा होची गोल बा सर्कुलर शेप, टंकार कॉइनटा होची सर्कुलर शेप, बॉर्डर नोटटा होची 20 रुपीस नोट इज रेक्टेंगुलर शेप। तेणु ये सब जिनस से जानी ऑलरेडी सी ही और सी हैज नोन we have to connect that only connect that आमे खाली शेप टे काटी की ताको देखि देबा तापरे कहिबा एटा दिस इज a rectangular shape सेमती कहले this is inappropriate and student do not interested towards the activity. So this is your observation and you observed that and mention in your analysis. Then the educator, you mentioned that the educator had planned this session with a view to strengthen child's concept of shape and thus foster cognitive. The concept of shape is related to cognitive part or or some mental operation occurs inside the brain, so this is related to cognitive development. And she conducted the session in a manner appropriately to child to level of her understanding the child and create interest towards the activity by doing the activity. सो जहाँ सी देखी जहाँ एक्सपीरियंस करी ताको नहीं कि सेठी जदि टीचर कनेक्ट करी थांते सेप को नहीं कि ताहले इट मे बी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग एंड स्टूडेंट कैन गेट द कांसेप्ट एंड द कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट शुड बी फोस्टर दिस एक्टिविटी रिलेटेड टू द कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट ओके बुझी होची
Yes, madam.
जो एक्टिविटी थिला तार कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट ए एक्टिविटी रे होची किंतु से प्रॉपर्ली करनथले जदि अलगा टाइप रो करि थांते तो से जगह रे पिलार कॉग्निटिव डेवलपमेंट हेता
हम थाउ मैडम काली की पड़ता।
आ पढ़िबनी
नहीं काली।
ओके आज इंटरेस्ट तो नेक्स्ट पार्ट रे हम आउ किछ एक्टिविटी ऑब्जर्वेशन डिस्कशन करिबा देन आहरी बहुत कथा अच्छी तुम सेक्शन 7 रे केमती तुम DECE-1 रो जो थियोरेटिकल पार्ट अच्छी ताको को डेवलपमेंट को एक्टिविटी रे बा को एक्टिविटी रे करा जिवो सेगुडा को सब अच्छी धीरे धीरे डिस्कस करिबा। आज मैं अरुणिमा बहिटा कहितली देखितिलो
छुट्टी है यही
हम
କୋଉ ବହି
अंगनबाड़ी
ଆଜ୍ଞା ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଦେଖିଛି।
ସେଥିରେ ବହୁତ କଥା ଅଲରେଡି ମେନସନ୍ ଅଛି ତେଣୁ ସେଟାକୁ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଆଜି ତମେ ତାକୁ ଦେଖିବ ଦେଖିଲା ପରେ ଆମେ ତାରି ଉପରେ ୟା ପରେ ତମର ସେକ୍ସନ 70 ଓନଲି ଫର୍ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ହାଉ ୟୁ ପ୍ଲାନ୍ ୟୋର ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଆଣ୍ଡ କଣ୍ଡକ୍ଟ ୟୋର ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ସେସନ୍ ତା ଉପରେ ପୁରା ଅଛି ସେଟା ମେ ବି 2 କ୍ଲାସ୍ ନେବ 2 କ୍ଲାସ୍ ନେବ ଆଉ ଆନେକ୍ସଚର ଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଯେଉଁ ଅଛି ସେଗୁଡ଼ାକ ଖାଲି ଯେଉଁ ଭିଜୁଆଲ୍ସ ମୁଁ ଦେଖେଇବି ତ ସେଇଟା ତମ ପାଖରେ ଅଛି ତମେ ଦେଖିଦେଇ ପାରିବ ଅଲରେଡି ବାକି ସେଇଟାକୁ ସେ ପାର୍ଟ ଯେଉଁ ସେକ୍ସନ 70 ଟି ଡିଟେଲ୍ସ ଡେସ୍କ୍ରାଇବ୍ କରିବା କେମିତି ପ୍ଲାନ୍ କରିବ ଆଉ
सेक्शन
କେମିତି ତମେ
7
ହଁ ସେକ୍ସନ 7
सेक्शन 7 ଟା कोउठी हमें जॉइन करी
नहीं सेक्शन 7 रे हाउ यू प्लान योर एक्टिविटी एंड हाउ यू राइट रिपोर्ट एंड हाउ टू कंडक्ट और कैरी आउट योर सेशन से विषय अच्छी माने को एक्टिविटी को धर पेंटिंग एक्टिविटी गोटे करूछ सेटर पिलार को प्रकार डेवलपमेंट होउची तो ए रिलेटेड अच्छी ऑलरेडी तमे जेति पढछि ताको प्रैक्टिकली तमे बता प्लान करिवो और कैरी आउट करिवो तो सेही विषय रे
तो
अच्छी सेटाको डिटेल टिके डिस्क्राइब करबा इट इज हेल्पफुल फॉर यू फॉर योर सेकंड फेज this is today discussion is your first page how to make a note and how to report a write a report तो बाकी किछि अच्छी सेक्शन 6 रो next tomorrow class रे discuss we will discuss about that and then go for our section 7 okay
ओके मैडम
so good night thank you for all joining and participating
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ମ୍ୟାଡ଼ାମ
ମ୍ୟାମ୍
ଆପଣଙ୍କ
ମୋର
ନମ୍ବର
ପଚାରିବାର
ନେଇପାରିବୁ?
ଥିଲା।
ମୋ number
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ହଁ ନେଇ ପାରିବ କିଛି ଅସୁବିଧା ନାହିଁ ମୁଁ ଚାର୍ଟରେ ଲେଖି ଦଉଛି ମୋ ନମ୍ବର। Uh, 93482
9
93482
93482
06653
066
53
53
3 93482 06653।
ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ଯୋଉମାନେ ହିନ୍ଦୀ ନେଇଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ସେମିତି ଟିଚିଂ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ଆଉ ଅନ୍ୟ କୋଉ ମ୍ୟାଡାମ ଅଛନ୍ତି ନା?
ବୁଝିପାରିଲିନି କଣ? Not
ଯୋଉମାନେ
get।
ହିନ୍ଦୀ ନେଇଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଟିଚର ଅଲଗା ନା ସେମିତି କିଛି ନାହିଁ?
ମିଡିୟମ ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କର ହିନ୍ଦୀ,
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ତ ସେମାନେ କୋଉ ପବ୍ଲିକ ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ଯିବେ ନା କଣ?
ନା ସ୍କୁଲ ନୁହେଁ ଯୋଉ ଟିଚର ଅଲଗା ଟିଚର କି ସେମିତି ଅଛନ୍ତି କି ଖାଲି ହିନ୍ଦୀ ସେମିତି ପଢେଇବେ ନା ଖାଲି ଏମିତି ଇଂଲିଶ ଓଡିଆ?
नहीं, your requirement sometimes in Odia language, so I have discussed with Odia language, but this class is only English.
ହଁ।
हिंदी इंग्लिश କିଛି ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହଉଛି ବୁଝିବାରେ?
ନା ବୁଝିବାରେ ସେମିତି କିଛି ହଉନି, ଏଇ
ହୁଁ
ଯୋଉ ଆନେକ୍ସର ଯୋଉଟା 26 ପେଜ ଅଛି
ହୁଁ
ସେଇଟାର ତ ସବୁ ଇଂଲିଶ ଅଛି, ତାକୁ ଆମେ ହିନ୍ଦୀ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ନା ଇଂଲିଶ?
that is
ପିଡିଏଫ୍
not mentioned in your annexure. I have to discuss with regional center. Then after I will inform you. जो हिंदी मीडियम सेटा लिखी हबो कि नहीं सेटा मते बुझिया पड़ियो।
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
It is not mentioned in a project annexure. So after I consult, then I will reply.
ଆନେକ୍ସର ଟା ଇଂଲିଶ ଟାକୁ ଯୋଡି ଦେଲେ ଚଳିବ, ତା ଦେହରେ ଯୋଉ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଗୁଡାକ ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ ଲେଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ କି
ହଁ
କଣ?
ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ତ ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ ଲେଖିଛି କିନ୍ତୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ
Activity ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ ତମେ ଲେଖିପାରିବ। The
ଆଜ୍ଞା
example
ଆନେକ୍ସର
is
ଟା
also
ଯୋଡି ଦେଲେ ଚଳିବନି ଇଂଲିଶ, ସେ ଯୋଉ ଖାଲି ପୂରଣ ହେବାକୁ ଦେଇଛି ସେଟା ହିନ୍ଦୀରେ କରିଦେବେ।
କେତେ ମ୍ୟାମ୍ ସେ ଯୋଉ କେତେ ତାର 26 ପେଜ ଅଛି ତା କେତେ ପେଜ ଜଏଣ୍ଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ?
କୋଉଟା ଯୋଉ annexure ଅଛି ତ?
ଆଜ୍ଞା।
ହଁ annexure ଗୁଡାକ ଜଏନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ତମର। annexure 1 ଯୋଉ ମୁଁ ମେନସନ କଲି, annexure 1 ର section A ଆଉ B and annexure 3 for evaluation ସବୁ ଯାକ ଜଏନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ ଯେତେ ଯାକ annexure ଅଛି।
ଆଜ୍ଞା। ସବୁ ପେଜ ଜଏନ୍ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ?
Okay. Now end of the class.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Good
ନା
night, madam.
Good night.